Yo, what's going on, man? Just want to talk a little bit about that Thurman fight. I've been out of the loop for a minute. For people that follow me, man, it's not that many people, but don't really matter. Few people do, but just wanted to give my input on the fight. As you guys know, when I do these videos, man, I don't edit, I don't cut anything. I just go with the flow. So if you hear some stumbles, mumbles, what have you, just gotta live with it because I'm not about to do anything any different. I don't believe in that. So anyway, man, just to get my thoughts on the fight, I thought it played out the way that everybody that watches boxing felt it was gonna go. Um, we all knew what Porter was capable of doing before coming into this fight. We saw him in previous fights. We saw, how he likes to manhandle his opponents, how he likes to get in close, how he likes to bang. He'll utilize the jab a little bit, but it's more of a feint, kind of, to get inside. He likes to bull rush his opponents. That's pretty much what he likes to do. And we've seen that already with multiple fighters that like to go in like that. And what you can say about him was he came in top shape. He looked good. I'm sorry about all of that noise, man. Outside, we got guys doing construction or what have you. But he came in top shape. He came in ready. He was focused. He was driven. He was determined. He was trying to get Thurman up out of there. But what you can say about fighters of his caliber, guys that are unorthodox, type of fighters. He's not an orthodox fighter, so he doesn't fight in the format in which a boxer should be fighting in, especially if he's going to be right-handed. So it's difficult to time those kind of punches um, when he's throwing them, or when guys that fight in that style are throwing punches, because an orthodox fighter is supposed to be in a certain format, and his left foot should be in the front, right foot should be in the back. He should be throwing a left jab, and he should be throwing, right straight rights or crosses or hooks, uppercuts, from the right hand stance. So when you got a guy that's fighting unorthodox like that, you don't really know where his punches are gonna come from. He's not really standing in the stance that he should be standing in. He's not really throwing a jab the way he's supposed to. So you're going to have some opposition when you get in the ring with a guy like that, that's throwing punches from all over the place. That's why when Floyd fought Maidana, and this is the fight that I like to compare Keith and Shawn to, because it was pretty much like the same style of fight. The only difference was you saw a lot more aggression and you saw more power in this fight versus the Floyd fight. But same type of fight, same type of fight, rough housing tactics, using the forearms, elbows, headbutts, mauling them with his head, things like that. Porter was really, really doing everything he could to wear down Keith. He was going to the body. He was throwing some solid body shots, and it was hard for Keith to get to time him. But I knew around the fifth, I had already posted it on Twitter. You guys want to follow me on Twitter at me superb one on Twitter. But I'm always on Twitter, especially when boxing is on. Basketball. I follow all of these sports, man. But I like to talk about boxing the most. But I had already put it on Twitter. I'm like, we're gonna see, once this fight slows down about the fifth round, we're gonna see Keith Thurman start to jab. We're gonna see Keith Thurman start to circle. We're gonna see him turn his opponent, and that's what I really wanted from the beginning. But you gotta understand that, it's a lot of adrenaline in the first few rounds. Guys are jittery, guys are anxious, so it was gonna be tough to for Keith to stop Porter from doing all of those tactics that he was doing earlier in the fight. About the fifth round, we started seeing it. We started seeing Thurman thinking like he always does. He started, fighting behind the jab. You start fighting at a distance. With guys like that, you have to fight at a distance. You can't let them close in on you like that. As much as you can, you have to try to prevent that from happening. And Keith was struggling, man. He was struggling with that. Porter was nullifying his attacks, Keith wasn't as busy as he should have been, and it almost cost him the fight. The only reason that you would give Keith Thurman this fight unanimously is because you got Porter mauling this guy up against the ropes, forcing him in the corner, and he wasn't really doing much other than going to the body. When you got a guy on the ropes like that, and that's your tactic for the fight to win, you got to go directly to the head. You got to go to the head. You can't, sit there and allow this guy, to hit you with straight solid shots in front of the judges. You got to go to the head and make it definitive, in their minds that, what, this guy is really putting hands. He's really throwing some solid punches from the shoulder. His arms are extended, his uppercuts, were doing damage. We need to see some real evidence that you're hurting this guy. And, we could see that Keith was worn out. He was tired. He was struggling. But it was no point in the fight where he wasn't willing to trade back. So if you're a judge, you're seeing that. And you're seeing that when he's landing shots, he's landing the more definitive shots, the ones that are doing definite damage to his opponents. He's landing the jab, it's solid. He's landing the straight right, solid. He's landing the uppercut, solid. He's landing the hook. And that's what I posted on Twitter as well. I put on there, all Keith Thurman has to do to win this fight is throw the left hook and throw the right uppercut. Because this guy is going to be coming in. You already know he's going to come in. And when you turn him, his footwork is really bad, like an Adrian Broner. His footwork is terrible. So he shuffles his feet. So when that happens, when you get ready to turn him, you can hit him off balance with the left hook. Keith was catching him all night. And then, when he comes inside like that, you should be ready to throw the uppercut, the right hand uppercut. But anyway, man, I like to keep these videos at 8 minutes. I'm not going to go over this time. I just wanted to give my thoughts on the fight. I thought it was a really, really good fight, man. It was action-packed. It was everything that we thought it was going to be, and for all of the people that said, well, this fight should have happened 3 months ago, this and that, go back and look at Keith Thurman's body before they got into negotiations for this fight. Go back and look at it. Go look at his body. I tell people, I compare him to what Oscar De La Hoya looked like in '07 when he fought Manny Pacquiao. That's what his body looked like. Keith knew he wasn't ready, and that's exactly why they postponed the fight with the fake car accident thing. But anyway, man, that's my opinion. Hope you guys like it. Comment, subscribe, do whatever you wish. Peace. Love y'all, man.